The TC Electronic Aeon string sustainer. Let's check it out. TC Electronic calls the Aeon a modern interpretation of a classic string sustainer from the 1970s, and of course, we all know what that one is. Yep, it is the Heet Sound EBow, of which I have one right here. On this video, I'd like to talk about the features of the Aeon, play you a few sounds, and tell you what I think about it. So first up are the features. Unlike the original EBow, the Aeon has a brushed metal case, which is really awesome. It is solid, it is sturdy, and it is the right size for holding and using with your guitar. So really nice. In particular, I like the weight. It's a little bit heavier than the EBow is, which is good because it gives you just a nice feel when you're using it. So that's great. In terms of the other features, I really like the battery situation on the Aeon. It's got a little clip at the top that allows you to release and remove the battery. So you can do very quick battery changes if you're playing a gig somewhere, which is cool. In the front is an on-off switch. And at the bottom, you'll see when I turn the switch on where the transducer is, the magnetic transducer. You get a little nifty light that goes on and off. One of the great things also with this device is when you turn it on, put it down, it will automatically turn off after a period of time to conserve battery power. I really like that. The old EBows used to have that, but no more. They removed that feature at some point, a long time ago. So I'm glad to see that the Aeon has that. In terms of using the Aeon, it does have an electromagnetic transducer. I will defer to TC Electronic to tell you exactly how it works, but it essentially creates a magnetic field above your guitar string to drive it like a bow. So you can think of it as an electronic bow. And again, I'm not TC Electronics, so I can reference the EBow, which stands for electronic bow, right? So this also bows, quote unquote, the string in a similar way by creating that magnetic field above the string. If you want to create a stronger magnetic field above the string, you can simply move the Aeon above one of your pickups on the guitar, and that will interact with the pickup to create a stronger, louder sound. What I'd like to do now is give you just a couple of quick examples of what it sounds like. Here we go. Yeah, pretty cool. That is the classic string sustainer sound for sure. Now, how do I have my guitar sound set up to get that kind of tone? I've found that it's a little bit different from the EBow, which is fine. I like having just a little bit of distortion on my tone with the Aeon. Okay, and I'm not using a fuzz or some crazy high gain pedal. I'm just using kind of a light overdrive. And what that does is it makes it a little bit easier for the Aeon to vibrate the string. Just like the EBow, I also have a compressor set up. I really like using a compressor with string sustainers because it evens out the dynamics of the tone. And very similar to the EBow, I also prefer to have the tone knob on the guitar turned all the way down or almost all the way down. If you've got your tone knob all the way up, to me it sounds pretty nasty. Really sharp and just biting. But if you turn that tone knob down, it's a much more mellow, fluid sound. And you can play around with the tone knob and your amp settings. Maybe turn the tone knob just up, just a little bit. All right. The last ingredient, if you look at the inset, you'll see I've got a volume pedal. I personally always use a volume pedal with a string sustainer. sounds really great. And again, it's very, very much like the Heet Sound EBow. All right, one other thing that I really like with string sustainers is to add some delay. So I'm adding in a little bit of tape type delay from the TC Electronic Flashback Triple Delay, and here's what it sounds like. That's cool. I really, really like that a lot. If you've listened to any of my Chords of Orion tunes on this channel, you've heard EBow being played, and that obviously was before the Aeon came along, and I'm always using delay and reverb to kind of fill out the sound. All right, so quick look at the Aeon. So the big question is, how does it compare to the EBow? I mean, really, that's what we're all wondering, right? If you're familiar with both. And I think it is its own beast, so to speak. So what does the Aeon have going for it? One is the construction. Love the construction. This is awesome. If you are a touring musician, this is probably going to be your best bet, because if you drop it, it's not going to break. If you put it down turned on, it's going to turn off automatically to conserve your battery. Those are great stage gig features. Also, the string tracks are a little bit deeper than the EBow. So if you're playing, let's say you're playing a high sustained note, okay, and you're playing that note, and unlike me, you actually have the capability of dancing or moving around. I'm a total buffoon. These deeper string tracks are going to stay put as you're moving around the stage, which is really great. So that's awesome. It also has that same great tone as the original EBow. Now, I should say those deeper string tracks, though, make it a little more difficult to switch strings compared to the EBow. Let me show you what I mean. I can string switch, and I can actually do pretty well with it, and it's cool, but it's not quite as fluid as the EBow is, and it's because the string tracks, I think, are a little deeper than the EBows. But if you're a person that's mostly using the Aeon for more single string types of lines like REM or Sigaros or U2, where you're kind of hanging out on the same string, those types of things, this is a great choice. Here's the other thing. It's about 25%, give or take, maybe 30% cheaper than the EBow. So you can save some money buying the Aeon too. So all in all, I think it's a good choice. It is a worthy, I won't call it a competitor, but a worthy device that is in the long heritage of the Heet Sound EBow. It's definitely worth checking out to see if it fits your playing style and the types of things that you want to do with a string sustainer. If you haven't already done so, I would love it if you would subscribe here and click the bell notification to ensure that you don't miss a thing, because I've got ambient guitar-related content coming each and every week. Also, I've got some links to the Aeon in the video description below. And as always, I'll see all of you on the next video.